Alright YouTube, Big Germ's Garage here, and it has been a busy week. This video is going to be mainly going over what's still in the garage, what I've gotten this week, we'll go over that, and maybe at the end of the video we'll do a little bit of work with the new toy that we got in the trailer. So I'm going to walk around and talk about the garage, see if you can figure out what's missing. Towards the end of the garage tour part, I'll let you know what actually is missing, but you can kind of look around and see if you can figure it out. So let's look what's going on in the garage right now and recently, and then we'll look at the new toy outside. So these have been here for a little while. Big Bear mower, haven't touched those, but what I have started doing, you remember recent videos, we got the Tomberlin, we got the Earth Dog. My kids really like the Tomberlin. We were going to switch the motor. It is a Mitsubishi 6.0 motor that was on the Tomberlin. We took it off, and one of the problems that I ran into, and the motors aren't really on there yet. They're just kind of sitting there. That Mitsubishi motor has a shaft coming out of it that's 4 inches long, so it's longer than what the Predator motor has. So trying to line the pulleys up and everything, I was trying to figure it out. So the motors got taken off. This pulley system right here is actually off the Earth Dog. I was trying to see how that would work without me actually having to buy something. And for the most part, I'm gonna have to buy or figure out some sort of a plate to bring this plate up off of the mounting spot so that it'll work. But anyway, so trying to figure this one out. That was what was going on. This one, I was going to take whatever motor was left over and put it on this one and probably sell it. The Earth Dog, that's probably going to be the plan, but as I go through this video, you'll start to see a little bit more of a direction. And I'll explain that in a second. What's probably going to end up happening is that motor is going back on the Tomberlin and the Predator is going back on the Earth Dog. Last video I made was of this scrambler. Picked this up for $100. I think Thursday morning I drove to Charlottesville, which is about an hour away. I still haven't figured it out. In the last video I tried a bunch of different things. The motor does turn over, but I wasn't getting any spark, so I've kind of left it alone. I did order a relay for it, so I don't have to have wires jammed into the little harness right there, into the plug. I'm trying to make it work to jump it over and everything. So as of right now I've kind of stopped because I've just been busy the last day or two getting other items and haven't finished that one. So if you have any suggestions on what you think it might have been, if you watched the other video, let me know. So here's what's in the garage. The other night, and we actually had the little mini bikes. Mini bike's still here. These are new. Actually, the other night I was messing with the scrambler and these popped up. 2 go-karts, neither of them have motors. No motor. No motor. So at 10 o'clock at night I was up picking these up. My impressions now that I've got them home and looking at them, the red one won't take a whole lot to get it ready to go. The brakes still work. It needs a motor, it needs a seat cushion if I decide to get one. But put a motor on it, the thing should be rideable. Maybe make sure the tires hold air. That one's off the rim. So this one, not a big deal. This one, it's got that top roll cage bar that's not in place right now, but this whole front end is kind of out of whack, and they've welded some sort of a pole onto that steering column. So this one, and back here in the back, not sure if the brakes work on this one or not. Let's see. Pushing the brake lever didn't do anything. So the chain's still hooked up. That's the same looking pulley or clutch from the Earth Dog inside, and this is a Earth Dog. So I picked these up. I paid $100 each, which now as I'm looking more at this yellow one, I'm feeling like that was probably not a good price for the yellow one. The red one maybe. If truly it is just to put a motor on, then I'm not going to be too upset about that one. This one I might end up just taking parts off of it. Maybe the tires, maybe the clutch in the back. I don't know. Or maybe get them together. We'll see. That'll probably get pushed over to the side for a little while longer. But now, let's see. Have you figured out what's missing? There's actually a couple things missing. One of them's been in a lot of videos, and it's about the color of Mountain Dew. Yes, the KFX 700 is not in here. Trying to decide exactly what to do with it. Right now it's at my brother's house. My brother really is trying to get it from me. The KFX sat in here. It's probably been sitting here for about 4 years. Only ridden it once since then. I cleaned the carburetor once. Didn't do anything with it. Sat next year, cleaned the carburetor. Never took it riding. So a lot of cleaning the carburetor, not riding it. It probably needs a good cleaning. I was actually going to take it to a local shop that he knows a lot about those four-wheelers. I was going to get him to go through it, a friend of mine, so to make sure it was tip-top shape. And then I was either going to sell it or hang on to it. I was leaning more towards selling it just because I don't use it. The farm where we ride, all the trees have been cut down, so there's no trails that we used to have. They planted new trees, and we're not really allowed to ride where the new trees are yet. So we got to wait for them to come up, then we can kind of make new trails. So it's just the front yard and the driveway. So it's, you know, having that bike sitting in here, I was thinking maybe selling it. So my brother, he wanted it. So we're kind of thinking about maybe working out a deal to get some other four-wheelers and stuff that I could sell. And then he gets to hang on to the KFX. So if that actually happens, if I ever really wanted it back and he's looking to get rid of it, I can get it back. So if you look over there, I also had that KX100. KX100 is not here. That's also at my brother's house. We've already made a deal for that one. So he's looking for stuff to work on as well. The KX is gone. And what else? Can you look around to see, and I said 2 things, there's actually 4 things missing. You don't see the Black Cat go-kart, and you don't see the Big Bear 250. If you remember, I bought the Big Bear 250, paid $350 for it, put a new battery in it, tires on the back, and actually sold it. So the Black Fox go-kart and the Big Bear 250 are gone as well. So I actually sold them this week. So let's go out here and see what's in the trailer. This morning I went and picked this up. This is what's going to kind of change the go-kart direction we're going to go. This is another Twister Hammerhead. If you remember back a video or 2 ago, I picked up one of these last week for $100. That one was in a little bit more of a poor shape. That one had a pipe welded on the back for an exhaust. The carburetor was off. I actually did clean it, but that went to my brother's house as well. So he got the KX100, the Twister Kart that I got for $100 last week, and he got the KFX for right now. But we haven't really figured out a deal yet for that one. So this I picked up today, $300. For $300. We'll walk around it just for a second. We'll see. Back tires are not that bad, not brand new. Front tires are practically brand new. Seat's not all ripped up. This is, I believe this is just a 150. I really don't know a whole lot about them, but I think this is a 150. It's got a little tub up here for carrying things. In here to the motor. So I'll go get some starter fluid and we'll start this thing up. But the apparently it's not getting fluid or gas like it's supposed to. The guy that I bought it from said it's been sitting, so it could just be a carburetor cleaning it needs. But it sounded like it's not getting primed. I guess that electric choke that's in there is not working like it's supposed to. But let's get some starter fluid. I've got some in here by the scrambler, and we'll go check it out and see what's going on. Now, looking at the handlebar, I didn't even pay attention earlier, but it looks like the handlebar is, not handlebar, the steering wheel is broken. I wasn't even paying attention. but yeah, it looks like it broke. So I might have to find something else for that, I guess. But that'll be all right for now, I guess. We'll have to see. But the boot's already off the carburetor. I'm gonna spray some starter fluid up in there, I'm hoping. All right, and then let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it by being out of it, but we'll try. It starts up. So what I'm about to do now is I'm gonna check out the gas, make sure there's gas in it. Well, let's do that now. Make sure there is gas in it. That would be pretty sweet if there's just no gas in it. I've had that happen before. That Black Fox go-kart. Got it, was told it didn't work. Needed carburetor clean and stuff. And there's some gas down in there. You can kind of see it glistening. So I'll probably see if I can drain that out. Pop the carburetor off, clean it, put it back on, see if it works. If not, a new carburetor is like 30 to 35 bucks off eBay. So not worried about it too much. Yeah, that gas and that fuel line, I don't know. It's probably old. The guy I bought it from said his kids are in their 20s now, and it was theirs when they were younger. So it's been sitting for a little while, he said. All right, well, cool. What I'll do is I'll finish out this video pulling that off and see what's up with it. So hang tight and let's get it off the trailer, get that off the go-kart, and see if I can get it clean. Alright. Alright, first I'm going to take off the fuel line and try to drain this fuel from the tank into my gas can without making too much of a mess. Alright, whoa, gas is coming out. It is green gas. Oh, and it stinks. Whew. Alright. Alright, so the gas has been drained out. Now I'm going to go ahead and undo the screw. It's Phillips head screw that is holding the carburetor onto the motor. So I'm going to loosen that up and pop the carburetor off. Alright, this carburetor should be ready. Carburetor is loose. And now I'm going to look to see exactly what other hoses are hooked to it. Alright, looking from the passenger side, we now have this hose that comes over and hooks into the carburetor. So I'm going to unhook this hose. And that feeds through a little brass circle on this side. So I'm just going to pull that through, put the clip back on it. Alright, now that seemed to be the only two hoses. So the next thing we have is this throttle. So I'm going to leave the front, where the back nut where it is, I'm going to move the front nut a turn or two to get it loose. Alright, just enough to get it loose so I can slip it out. Let's see, I'm going to pop this actual cable loose, hopefully. Sorry, throttle cable's out. And I got to remember that this bolt, this nut was pretty much all the way in. So the front one, I'm going to go ahead and undo it so I can get this out all the way. It doesn't just slip out. I thought maybe it would slip out of the little bracket, but it doesn't. So the front one's going to come all the way off. And then once I pull that off, the whole thing comes out, or it should. tight there at the end. Hopefully the threads aren't messed up. It's a little crooked. Oh, things got sideways there somehow. Alright, throttle's off. Now the next thing is this connection. Alright, so one thing, this thing has like a piece of Tupperware. Yes, like a piece of Tupperware for food, covering up the electronics. I'm going to need to figure out exactly what goes here. But I have, that choke comes in here and it is hooked up with some wire nuts. Looks like yellow to yellow, green to orange. So that's the way I'm going to have to connect it back. So I'm going to disconnect it now. Put these wire nuts back on so nothing messes up with the battery, or I don't know if it's got fuses on it or what. But alright. And I have to figure out what's up with this cap. I don't know what goes there, something, but maybe I have to make something. But that should be it. Carburetor should be out. And now we can go clean it. This is going to be one of my first times using this little carburetor cleaning space I built. It's mainly just so that I don't lose all the pieces. It's got 3 sides on it. Screwdrivers, I got another thing of tools here if I need it. And I got my dip tank over here as well. I apologize for the fan in the background, but it is really hot out here today. It's in the mid-90s, I think. So I'll go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I don't know a whole lot about it, so be a little careful. But I got the camera on so I can see where things go. So let's start off with the bowl. Hopefully all these screws and everything come out like they're supposed to. And the first one, no. The second one, no. Third one, no. Fourth one, no. And of course all of the bolts want to strip out. So instead of stripping them out, I'm going to grab hold with these lock pliers and break them all free. Those screws for the bowl always seem to be ones that strip out. I'm hoping this carburetor is dirty on the inside and that's all the problem is, so I can get it back together in an hour or so and not have to buy a new one. Alright, that broke. Alright, so if you have trouble with screws and stuff getting stuck and stripping out, these I use these pliers for all kinds of things like that, especially for carburetors. That's probably the main thing I use them for. So I'll pop these 4 screws out. that one still wanted to strip out some. Alright, here's the magic reveal. We'll see what the inside looks like. Oh wow, it's actually rather clean on the inside. It's a little bit of gunk down there in the bottom. Not sure if you can see it. So that would be getting dipped. The gasket looks good. Alright, so we have floats and 2 jets. There's a little bit of gas in here still. See if I can pop out the floats. There we go. This seems like it's been cleaned not that long ago. That looks clean as well. So this might have been cleaned and maybe they're still having issues with it starting. But we'll see what these jets look like. Alright, that slow speed jet, you probably can't tell, but it's clogged all the way through. So that's probably the problem with it not wanting to auto at least. Maybe start. So this one's going to have 2 parts. So we got the jet on the end. This is more of the main jet. And I can actually see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There was actually something in it. So there's that. We'll pull this out as well. Get that clean. Alright, so next thing, without making too much of a mess, because there's a little bit of gas left in it. Alright, take the top off. So the top had this one little flexible clamp there for a hose, and then another hose went through that little brass thing there. So I need to remember that the brass ring was on the front, and this flexible one was towards the back. These want to kind of be tough as well. That one free. That one's free as well. Alright. This top off. Get this diaphragm out. Spring. Doesn't look bad either. So I'm hoping it was just that slow speed jet, maybe some stuff clogged up in it. My brother thought it was this piece. He thought maybe it wasn't creating enough vacuum to pull the gas through to start it. Gas was through the line. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to go ahead and take this part apart as well. Those are a little bit bigger. Let me try a bigger screwdriver. No, they want to strip as well. Man, poorly made metals. Alright, that one's free. That one goes through. I think there's another diaphragm under here. Just got to be careful, make sure everything comes out I can see the way everything comes out, so I can put it back the same way. Get that out. Alright, so there was an O-ring here. Gotta make sure that goes back in the right place. Let's see. We got this side as well. I'm gonna put these screws back in here because they're a little bit different. Let's see what's under this piece. This was where the line came around and went in. Nothing in there. So not much to that. Alright, so just checking it over. I am going to take this screw out. So we'll count down. We'll count down the turns. So going in, a half a turn, one, maybe 1 1/8, maybe 1 1/10, not much past 1. So we've got to remember that when we put the screw back in, it needs to be slightly over 1 turn out. We'll have to look to make sure there's no O-rings or little washers up inside of here now. With this one. This should just be like a pointy jet. Spring, yep, just pointy. That's not gonna, I'm not gonna dip that. Nothing else up in there with it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and dip it. I've got the dip tank. So for this, all I'm going to dip is going to be the actual carburetor body, the 2 jets, 3 jets really, one of them goes together, and then the bowl. So here's the body. Slow speed jet. Tube for the main jet. Main jet. And bowl. Alright. Let that soak for maybe an hour. Now I also want to take this apart to look inside of it, see if I noticed anything wrong with this. This is the electric choke. There are 2 screws holding this thing together. My brother thinks this is the part that's not working. So, man. So this has, looks like 3 holes. This little choke mechanism. There's a choke. I'm gonna not dip this. I'm gonna go plug this in to see if it does anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and dip this piece just to make sure it's clean. Alright, so I took this and hooked it back up to the go-kart and turned the key thinking maybe the plunger would move, but it did not move. I don't know if you know how this works. Yeah, maybe leave me a comment. I mean, by then I'll probably have figured it out, but this didn't do anything when I had power to it. So I'm going to pull the carburetor out of the bucket, spray it, yeah, hook it all back up and put it back on the go-kart and see what happens. But I don't know, maybe this needs some sort of vacuum to pull it shut or what, but just turning the key did nothing. All right. Bowl is nice and clean. Blow through it. Gonna blow through all the holes. Alright, so there was a washer and an O-ring that fell out. So they fell out and fell over here. So I'm going to make sure I put them back on for this screw. This screw was one turn and just a little bit more out. So I'm going to put it back in. So screw it all the way down. Alright, and then that goes all the way down, so I'm going to bring it out a half, one, and slightly out. Alright, let's go put it on the bike, or let's go put it on the go-kart. Alright, I'm going to start on this side first with the throttle. Now I had a little bit of trouble with this nut when I took it off, so hopefully it threads back on. I'm gonna get something better than last time. Last time, 12. I see my 12. For some reason that end is kind of rough. Threads are not very good. Alright, so we're going to get that all the way back up in place. Alright, it's all the way up there. That's back in. I'm going to tighten this down. Alright, that's good. Get this back in spot. I actually want that to be aiming up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to bring it in the up position. Alright, next. I'm going to bring the air hose, goes back through the brass around the front and plugs in. fit that on that little spout. Back in there. Hey, bud.
So you put this on?
I think so.
Is it able to break?
What?
Is it able to break?
Maybe. Alright, let's see. These are the choke wires. Yellow was yellow, green went to the orange looking one. These are just twist tied on there for now. I'll probably have to redo it more for a better plug. Green was to orange when I took it apart. Patrick, can you grab that hose? Oh, never mind, never mind. Alright, so that's hooked back up. And then all that's left is fuel line. So we'll plug the fuel line back in. And then tighten down the carburetor. Alright, now look at the purple can.
What we can put in the other eye.
Oh, no. See if it starts.
Do you want me to hit this step? I'm trying
Not
to.
yet.
I like it. But I know one thing, Mama. Am I actually going to drive it?
I'm trying to see if it starts. Alright, go ahead and turn the key.
This way?
Yeah, no, like you turn it into one. Don't actually start, just so it makes the noise like it's going to start. Alright, turn it off. Alright, go ahead and start it. Alright, so it starts right up. Alright, go forward. Alright, stop. Now, see if you can pull that lever by your knee. Yeah, pull that back. Now see if it goes in reverse. Back, come. Alright, go ahead and stop. Oh, put it forward again.
Yeah.
Alright, so it smokes a little bit. Alright, cool. So, clean carburetor, it starts right up. I'm going to check the oil, maybe change the oil and see about see what's up with the oil because it is smoking a little bit. But not bad. We'll get it going and hopefully ride it soon. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching Big Drum's Garage and see you next time.